Welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. This morning I'm out here working on a knife, little project that I got to do for somebody. I made a couple of these for Christmas. It's a lot similar to a patch knife. Let me get it in front. There, you can see right there. But anyway, it's similar to a patch knife, and it's just going to be a small everyday skinning knife. This is fairly thin metal, somewhere around a 16th. I hadn't even measured it. I'm making it out of these saw blades, obviously. You done seen that. So I'm having a wee bit of coffee. I got the chicken stirred up with a grinder. They like to holler. We had some cold weather. Been deer hunting. Old swamp goat. But I am out here this morning doing a little work. I enjoy making these knives. And y'all, I have had good luck making these out of this saw blade. The reason is I can heat this up with a forge, quench it in oil, and it's pretty hard. It'll hold an edge. I claim that is it probably needs to be somewhat annealed. I don't really have a way of annealing it other than taking it in a house and putting it in the oven, and I just, for what it's going to be used for, I don't think they'll break it. If you start taking the tip, prying in stuff, using it for a screwdriver, you know, my philosophy is people like that ain't got no business with a knife anyway. So. Anyway, I just wanted to stop, tell you a little bit about what's going on, and we're going to get back to grinding on this, so hang with us. Is that more gooder? I went and got these coals out of the shed stove. When you're doing this, you don't want to leave that blade still. You'll melt that where you've ground it down to a fine edge. So you've got to start working this once it starts getting color to it. And I don't want to heat the handle up. I'm only wanting to heat the blade. And y'all, I'm not going to get this to demagnetize them. I've found that I don't have to do that. I've learned about what color I'm looking for. As long as I get a glowing color to it, I can dip it in this motor oil and it'll quench it just right. I'm sure there's some blacksmith gonna see this and say, oh, you need to do like this. I'm not saying this is the perfect way to do it. I'm just saying this is what I found that works for me. There's probably better ways, easier ways to do things. I'm sure there's more scientific ways to do it. But I have run a file up and down these blades. You see that color? I ain't really getting it. I don't want to get it to where it starts melting my edge. See, I'm just getting a little bit of color to it. But you got to be careful. You'll melt that cutting edge with it blowing hard. That air's like an oxygen acetylene torch. A lot of guys actually will cut the heat, the blower off. We got a good straight blade. See how straight that is. Alright, I'll put my lid. I had to put that coffee can over that thing because there's a little boy out here about yay high that this pair of glasses, I found them in that. Alright. Back to what we was doing. Alright, I got me an old rag here. And I wiped this off. Now this blade gets kind of scaly. A little bit rough. But now, y'all, my style is crude, rough. Some people say, oh, that's because you just don't want to take your time to polish it. Hey, I can put it on that belt sander and slick it up in a matter of seconds. That just don't look... I like the old, looks like it's been beat out and fours and rough and I don't know. But I do want to clean my edge up. The best way to check stuff to see if it's hot is to grab it, ain't it? I had somebody tell me the other day on one of my videos something I done wasn't the smartest move I'd ever made. No, it probably ain't. But I don't tell you that you've got to do it the way I do it. Do it the way you want to do it. Now that is the buffing wheel there. I did want to show something else right quick. We're going to take this file. Let me turn y'all around where y'all can gander down here at what I'm doing. Hear that? That's pretty hard. Yeah. That skeets right off of there. I made me some coffee in there on the stove. Well, I got me a little critter floating around in there. Y'all see me take that knife I just been grinding on, stuck motor oil, and get that out of there? That's how you're supposed to live life. I took what we call a chop saw. This is a piece of cherry. I've done made a couple of these. You see I got a pretty good stick of it. So I'm probably going to stash this up here out of the way. Let me go up there. But I cut me a piece off and I made 2 scales. And you see I done got them wet. This is cherry. One of them's a little thicker than the other one. So I've got to run it through the table saw. I'm not going to video that because I do things probably a little dangerously. However, I do take a block and push it through. But I don't have all the guards and all that stuff on that table saw. So I don't film because I don't have time for people scolding me. Any of you people that watch my video that want to give me safety tips, just hold your breath. You really wasting your time. I do things the way I want to do it, and I'm going to continue to do them that way. So getting on there and commenting and telling me, well, that was not safe and that ain't safe. I don't do safety, okay? This is not a safety video. This is not a safety tutorial. You need to get you a job with OSHA if you're worried about safety. I'm not trying to tell you this is how to do it. You end up being entertained watching me do it the way I want to do it. Now that I got that ran over, I just wanted y'all to know this is how I look at things. Oh, I'm going to run this though back through there to get them the same thickness. Let's see does it work? Have I got the camera on? Oh yeah, y'all looking. Y'all are looking. I knew y'all would be. Alright, I have a 1/8 drill bit. This is 1/8 brass, I think it's brazen rod that I'm using. But anyway, now I come back, I don't want my handle pinned way up here. I want to come back just a little bit, but now that's personal preference. And I'm going to drill all the way through everything, and I want to make sure I'm straight, so... That's hard, so you want to take your time. Alright, I'm going to loosen this. Make sure you hold it in place. I'm going to go ahead, I think, and drill this one as well. Because the way I've got it secure, it can't move, or it didn't move. It could move if you hit it hard enough. When you're drilling through this metal, hardened metal, slow with a good bit of pressure. But don't spin your drill bit wide open. All rightly. Now then, what we want to do, yes, very, very beautiful. Oh, we need a piece of, you got to have some Craftsman belt sanding packaging material for this. Not really. It's just what happened to be laying right there. That's what that belt was in. I got some of them cheap belts to mix my epoxy up. Now y'all, I am using 5-minute epoxy. This is 2 separate bottles. I had the little, you know, the little squeeze gun deal that you just push on the back of it and the 2 separate cylinders come out and mix. Well, that's great if you're going to use it all up one time, but every time I've ever laid one of them down thinking, well, I'll use some more next time, it wasn't there. So I got on Amazon and ordered this stuff, and it has worked well so far. I can put the top back on the bottles, I can set them down. It just makes mixing this up for knife handles and such so much easier. And I usually put a little more than I need out right here, which you don't need a lot. But it was like $10 for both of these bottles, and they ain't no telling how many knives I can do with this. So I'll put a link to what these was, but I put them back. Boy, it smells like almost about bad as a skunk, but that's what that is. 5-minute epoxy. Okay, then you need a mixing spreading utensil. One of them little slabs that you just cut off will do the trick. And if it gets a little dirt in there, that's just extra holding power, ain't it? I just rounded the end off a little bit to where I could in fact, how do I want to do this? I got to do this like this. Because I want to be able to see right where I'm at. Okay, it's flush through there. Let me get my other one. It's flush. Okay, I got them knocked flush with that. Now we're going to apply this. Let's see. Let's do it this way. You can do it however you want to. It don't matter. You just got to get it in there. Get a good thick coat. You got a few minutes to smear this around, but it's already starting to get sticky now. Okay. Now I'm going to clamp this to hold that tight so I don't get a gap in there, and let it dry a few minutes before I start grinding on that. this is a very wore out wheel, so it's not as rough as a new one, so it's making a smoother look to this than what a brand new one is. Alright, we're going to rub some oil into it. And we're going to rub in some oil that I made, because it works better. And it's a little darker. It goes good with this cherry wood. Gives it a little darker look. And then we'll oil the blade and all too. Oh, that looks good, don't it? We'll let that sit. There's a nice looking little knife. Now I have already, while y'all was doing something else over there, I went ahead and cut the stuff out for the holster here. So, what I do here, if I can put my hands on my stuff, I think this is what I was using. It's just some old glue to hold this in place. I don't know, Loctite brand. It just wouldn't runny and soak into that leather too bad was what I liked about it. I was going to say earlier, I know somebody is going to ask, do you make knives and sell them? No, not really. The reason is I just make knives according to when I want to make a knife. I'm so busy with pottery that I don't have time to just make knives. And you can't make a living making knives. Not as an amateur anyway. When you can charge $300 for a knife and it's worth that, then yeah, you can make a living doing it. But, I mean, you still working for, you could make a lot more money working at other stuff. And the big thing is really very few people are going to pay $300 for a knife. I mean, yeah, there's people that will. There's a lot of people that will. But there's a whole lot more that won't. Let me put it like that. First thing, they're going, oh, God, that ain't worth that. Well, yeah, if I've sanded on it for 3 days. Alright, now, with that, I'm going to lay this on it till it glues in place. Alright? That oil's soaking into there good. Let's sharpen on it. Now that is a Lansky stone. I don't know what grit it is. 800 grit, I'd say. Maybe finer than that. I'm going to show y'all something about this stone. See, it's got some black on there. Why are we doing this? This is important. Y'all need to know this. We're going to get over here to this nasty sink I got. Y'all have to excuse my sink now. This is an old wore out SOS pad. Now when I say an SOS pad, Brillo pad, whatever, it's this stuff. But that's a new one. I got it put up over there. I'm saving it for hard times. Look at this. Watch this right here. You see how dark that is? That's where I worked on some more knives. Now you see how that stone's coming back clean? This was a white colored stone when I started. Now it's ready to use. Y'all just learned something, didn't you? Look at it. Alright. You just want to make sure you maintain about the same angle. And I can choose whatever angle I want because I am making the knife. Now once it's had an angle put on it, you've got to try to stay with that. Well, I'll make a little coffee here. I'm going to sit down and have a drink. Oh! So we're working on this knife that, this is for my brother-in-law. He called and he had a buddy that wanted a knife like his. I had give them one for Christmas, him and my brother. And, I like to give handmade gifts. We give a lot of pottery for Christmas. Now we buy some stuff. And a lot of people think, well, you give that just because it's cheap and you have it. Well, technically it's really not cheap. And something that somebody makes, it don't matter if it's better quality or less quality or what. It's the fact that somebody took the time to work on this. It may not be nothing but as far as usefulness, like a knife, it may not cut as well as one you go buy at Walmart. But 20 years down the road, that knife may be worth something. I've got some from knives that, you know, my dad gave me that one day is going to be priceless to me, you know. So, in fact, he gave me a knife for Christmas. And while we're on the subject of knives, everybody should have a pocket knife. I keep a trapper in my pocket. Make sure that wasn't too hot to set that cup on. I just built this fire. It was cold when I come in. This is a case trapper. I haven't even cut much with it. In fact, I don't know if it's pretty sharp. I hadn't even used it. It's been in my pocket. You know, the old trapper's got two blades, and this has got the shiny blades. That's stainless steel, so this will hold up. It won't rust like my other one did, which I wound up. I use it more that little yellow case. And then I keep this Buck Langford. I like this Buck. Now, I like the Buck 110. The Buck 110 is an awesome knife. Probably a better knife than this. I like this because I don't have a holster right here that I'm hanging on stuff, which I'm not really a big fan of this in my pocket. They wear the pockets. The next thing, this one, when you shove it, you got to be careful when you put it in there. I've learned to keep my thumb over the blade like this as I shove it down. That way it can't open, because I had it pushed in one day that I had grabbed it like this and just pushed it in and pushed it down like that, and that blade opened. The tip of the blade is at the top, and I went to run my hand in my pocket for something and stuck me in the end of the finger. So that was a learning curve. I had to get used to that. But I like the fact that I can pull this knife out if I've got a hold to something, and I can open it with one hand. The Buck 110 is hard to do that. It is not impossible. And you can put a little thing on that clips on the back of the 110s and make them where you can open them with one hand, but it's a lot more effort. This, I don't know, when I'm cutting fishing line and I'm holding the line, the wind's trying to blow it around, or I've got it, and I can cut that tag in. And I've learned you have to get in the habit of when you get through with whatever you're cutting, don't just lay your knife down somewhere. You know, don't lay it over there, because it'll still be laying there when I get to the house and think, oh man, my knife's still right where, you know, or either, well, where did I lay that at? I don't even remember where I used it last. Stuff like that. So, but I keep a knife in each pocket. A man needs a pocket knife. I don't care if you go into church. A man that totes a pocket knife is a man that's going to work on something. May not fix it. He may make a bigger mess than anything, but he's going to try to fix stuff. But the average guy that totes a pocket knife can fix things, because you can't work on stuff long without learning how. A guy that totes a pocket knife, he's a do-it-yourselfer. He knows how to work on things. And I'm going to tell you while we're on philosophy. You ladies that are out there looking for a man, listen to this piece of advice. I see all these girls that's in a relationship, and next week, you know, this guy, he's her whole world. This is my whole world, and these Facebook posts and all, they so in love, and less than a year later they separated or divorced or whatever. Something come up in the relationship, maybe he cheated on her, she may have cheated on him, or whatever. I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of people that have been married 30 years that one of them cheated on the other one. I'm not justifying nobody cheating on somebody. That's not what I'm saying. But you can work on relationships. Ladies, find you a guy that's been driving the same truck for 10 years. That when it breaks down, he takes it and fixes it or has it fixed, whatever, and still drives it. He paid for that truck and he still got it. He's driving it. That guy will work on a relationship. The people that think, well, man, I got to have a brand new truck. Well, I don't like this one no more. I got to have another brand new one. Well, he's going to do women the same way. You think about that. Keep that in your mind. Just old country boy wisdom. But I've watched it for a long time, and I know it to be a fact. There are a few cases. Now, if you got more money and you know what to do with, by all means, go have you a new truck. Now, I don't have nothing against you, but they ain't one they make out there that I want to go buy today. I'm content with my old 06 Chevrolet. Well, that was good coffee. I like my Blue Willow teacups, too. Let's make this holster. Y'all, I'm trying to get y'all set up where you can see what I am doing and still may not be able to be kicking the camera over out of the way. Know what I mean, Vern? Alright. Now these first holes, I'm just trying to make sure where that's pieced in there, that inside piece. And then what I do is I'm going to go up through here and I just try to evenly space my... Yes, you could poke them through with an awl, but with 3 pieces I don't want to do a lot of forcing and pushing. So I'm just going to take my time. So let me drill these and I'll pick y'all back up. Alright, now this string right here that I got, now notice I did not say string, I said string. Get it right. It'll stick like that. I don't know where that string come from. I don't know what it is or where I got it. If I ain't mistaken, I got that at some yard sale somewhere. Is I got on Amazon and ordered a pack of needles. Actually, I don't need to do all that. I need to pull that to about right there. Alright, now we're going to go through here. Holy day. What is that? What? Alright. Now this is going to wind all up everywhere. It's hard for me to get started because I don't know what I'm doing. But I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. So that qualifies me. Alright, I go through. I loop, I go through. See that? Hold that up, get that out of the way. Alright, I come through and then I go back through the same hole. Follow what I'm telling you here, Han. I don't know if I got enough. I think I better pull. I think we... Now see, it makes a pretty And then see, after I go through, then I go up one. We're getting a rhythm here where y'all can see what's going on. And it creates a cool pattern, in my opinion. Back through the same hole. Alright, we went back through the same hole there. Now we're going to go up one. And we're going through the same direction the whole time. Up one. Same hole now. We went up one, now we're in the same hole. See, we went through the same hole again. Y'all figuring it out. Some of you's already got it. There's one or two of you that ain't figured it out yet. I know it. There always is one of you back there eating the crayons. Ain't paying attention. I'll show you again. Back through the same hole. Basically, you go through every hole twice. Does that make it simple for you? Move up. I might not can kill a deer, but by God, I can make a knife and a holster. Alright, my glue started separating, but that's after I got my holes drilled, so it don't really matter on that part. Now, we fixing to drill holes in our belt loop part. I don't know what you technically call it, but it's a belt loop, what it is. Alright, I put one hole in there, and then I usually put one in my fingernail too, like that. That helps. And we're going to stitch this up, and my thread is short here. I didn't quite get enough. Usually 6 takes care of that, but it didn't on this particular instance, and that's okay. We're gonna run this through there. I had to get my, and y'all, if my hands is all up in the way, there ain't a thing I can do about it. It's hard for me to cut them off and still make this. Pull it back up through that loop. Now see how I got me a good knot tied there. We're going to burn that off. We're going to get us another short piece of string to finish that out. But you see how we've got our belt loops going to be stitched together all the way up both sides of that. So that's going to make it foolproof, y'all. That's going to make it where it don't come apart. When you're getting out of your buggy, you know, and that bar that sticks out, and you're going to hang it when you get out because, you know, all us fat guys, we slide out of there, you know. I got a gun holster on my 45 1911 that every time I get in and out of the buggy, I break a snap on it because I put it together with snaps. Wait to do that again. Alright. Now I'm going to go through like that. Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to tie this off. Now look, I made one loop and then I went through it again. Okay? So, a square knot that went through one, back again. 2. Now, that's there. Let's burn this mess off. Come on now, we gotta burn it closer now. We don't want no bunch of junk hanging off on no holster. Be looking all tacky and whatnot and such as that, you know, and all and everything. Okay. Now I've got to drill my holes. After that's tied, see, it ain't. Just try not to drill a hole in your finger. If you do, it's alright. Just put your a piercing in there, put your earring or something in it. It'll be alright. It's okay nowadays. People, they got earrings everywhere. I don't even know why they call them earrings nowadays. Some of y'all got them hanging out of your eyebrows and your nose and your lips and your tongue. You can't even talk no more. But hey, if you like it, knock yourself out. I don't. As long as you don't make me get one, that's all I got to say about it. You can have at it. You hear me, hand? Alright. Come on through there. Now I'm going to lace this on up, continuing the same way. Go through twice, move up one. We're going to finish lacing this up, flip it around, and start on the other side. Okay, I got this turned the other way. It's better if you can just use a knife you're making to go ahead and cut this all, because you want to know that it's actually sharp enough to use. And I don't need to be cutting down toward. You see that thing just filleting that leather, boy. Andrew, be careful with this knife. This thing will cut you. That joker there is pretty sharp now. I'm tempted to just keep it. What do y'all think? I'm tempted to just keep that knife. I kind of like it. That'd fit right in my pack knife. Alright. We got that part. We're not going to go all the way. Well, right in the middle of a video when my dad blamed drill battery quit. Luckily, I keep one charged up. I ain't never got a dead battery just sitting there. That joker got 4 lights. One of them don't work, so 3 technically. Huh? Alright. Now when you're drilling your holes right here, try to make sure you go straight. And I know somebody's going to ask, you knife makers already know this, so this is not for you. That third piece of leather that we sandwiched in there, that is to keep that little thin strip that we put between the inside piece and the outside, is to keep the knife from cutting those strings. Because when you got a knife this sharp, man, it'll saw through that little string like nobody's business. Next thing you know, you'll be done shoved a knife, slammed through the holster. It'll be stuck down there in your leg or something. You'll be done flopping around and hollering and trying to get it out, and that red stuff will be going everywhere. You don't want that. And y'all thought I wasn't safe. I'm safe enough to tell you not to shove your knife through your holster. But it's like I told y'all, that old man told me one time. He said, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. So some of you are going to have to just be tough. I got tired of being tough. I'm trying to be smarter. We're going to route. We're going to route. Not like, oh, nearly. We do a different kind of route. Y'all thought I was talking about old 2-pack. I know it's Pac. Don't scold me, rap fans. I used to listen to it when I was young, didn't know no better. Alright, now here we go. Move up one. Alright, now we want to pull this. Now you want to make sure your rops is going where you want them to now. Back through the same hole. Same hole. Make sure you don't stick it in the wrong hole. Back up one. Back in the same hole now. Make sure you go in the same hole. Don't stick it in the wrong hole. Alright, move up one. Now we just drilled a few holes. I'm gonna lace it on up. I'm gonna finish lacing this up off screen because I don't want the video to be 2 hours long. Oh, I know some of you attention span ain't gonna watch all of this one, so I can't help it. You're gonna miss out on a lot of good jokes and comments in a minute, maybe, if I can think of something funny to say. So anyway, let me get this. I'll pick you up when I start to stitch this together. The trail's gone cold, and here comes the rain. Been chewing on willow bark to hold back the pain, putting juice in the wound, letting it drain. The holes in my buckskin are still wet with blood stain. I've been pushing too hard and going insane. Lord, don't let this journey be all in vain. 'Cause I'm played out down to my last draw. Nothing right, rough, ragged, and bald. Sam done went silent, nowhere to be found. Oh wait, I see him lying there on the ground. Oh, it's played out, thorn stuck and blood drawn, and plumb tore all to pieces. It's done worn off his paw. And then old Sam let out his last dying big call. So I dug him a grave and I covered it all. Oh, we got that did. Let me put this drill bit up. It is a, and I was going to tell y'all before, that is a 1/16 drill bit that I was using on that. Somebody might want to know. And I was going to mention earlier, y'all, about the needles. I forgot, I got sidetracked. I went and got these off of Amazon. It's a whole pack of all different kind of, see, I got them curved needles, and then down in there I even got some gargantuous, giant, big needles that I really don't think I got a use in the world for. But it's handy to have stuff. Just, you know, one day you might come up with something and be like, golly, I need that. And I think some of these are like sail needles because they're triangle pointed, whatever you call all that. So it's a little old pack of, and I'll, if I can find the link to that, I'll put it on my description. So if somebody's interested, you can find it. Now I'm using this same oil. Now this is rendered animal fats oil. I like it, number one, because it's kind of, I made it. But I'm going to go over this leather. I want it to soak into that leather good. Some of these leathers you buy, and I would love to just use stuff I tan, but I don't do any vegetable tanned leather. I mean any bark tanned or whatever you call it. I think all this is bark tanned. And sometimes they use a lot of salt in these leathers, and you have to be careful. They'll rust your blades. And y'all, this is good steel. It will rust. That's one of the reasons I started leaving this black where I burned it. And see, that's burnt with that motor oil from the quench. So, and y'all watch this. That is beautiful. beautiful. I love it, I love it, I love it. Well, I have never made a scabbard, sheath, holster, whatever you want to call it. We used to call this a scabbard knife, alright? Does it help when I turn that light out right there where y'all can really see what's going on? Because I need it to see what I'm doing, but I realize that once I'm not doing nothing over here no more, and look, that Milwaukee battery is already charged up. Let me add a little bit of my, drink a little bit more of my coffee. I got it sitting on that board over there. We're going to rub on this knife here just a wee bit more. I like to make sure that I have a knife good and sharp before I give it to somebody. And I watched a guy, and I'm not going to call no names because I really don't like bashing people. I like to pick on no Dave Canterbury every once in a while, but he's made it big enough that it ain't going to affect him none or hurt his feelings. So he probably won't never hear what I got to say no way. And I like Dave Canterbury too, y'all. His channel, I don't get into his promoting his product stuff. I don't care nothing about none of that, but that's his business. I can understand why he does it. But I watched this guy that's got to making knives. He used to do a little bushcraft and stuff. And he pretty much makes knives and makes some really good knives. He's got a couple, his designs and stuff that I would really like to have a couple of his knives, but they're hugely overpriced, I think. Because he has a shop, he's producing a good many of them. They are still handmade. I had some molds over there that I'm pouring out that had to be poured. They really should have been poured out about 30 minutes ago, but it is what it is. I don't like that philosophy. It is what it is. It is what I make it. Let's see if we can find a sheet of paper and see what this will do. Everybody wants to cut a sheet of paper. I don't even know if I got no paper. Here is a sheet of freshly ripped out of a notebook paper. Oh, it tore down there. That ain't sharp enough. Oh. But what I was going to tell y'all about this fella, he said that he didn't really believe in sharpening his knives. That's a pretty sharp knife, y'all. Sharpening them down to a fine edge, like what I'm fixing to show you right here. He just runs them across his belt grinder and leaves them little serrated teeth, not put serrated teeth, but where his belt has ground off, it's a jagged edge down through there, and that's what well, his knife is just sawing through stuff. And I liked this guy's knives till I seen that, and I was like, I disagree there, fella. I believe that a knife should be smoothly sharp and not rip its way through stuff, because them rough edges, when you saw through a couple of things, that's gone, and then what are you left with? You got a rounded off edge. It don't work that way. He likes that because he can sharpen it right quick and throw it down and he's through with it. That's what he likes. I know. I rubbed on this and enough off camera to get it sharp that I know. Well, since we done made this video this long, I'm going to tell y'all a story while I'm drinking my coffee here. We was talking about beavers on a beaver trapping video, and somebody commented something about, beavers, and one slapped a tail on the water and scared them. Well, I had one night. We was canoeing coming out of the woods, and it's black dark, at that point in time, I didn't have this good Danforth light that I got. See it hanging up right here? That's a good headlight, and I know y'all didn't get a good look at it the other day in the nighttime, but that is a good headlight right there, y'all. That thing goes on your head. Look right here. You put it over that toboggan, it'll stretch out there. You got that battery pack back there. And man, this thing right here, you can forevermore see a coon's eyeballs way up yonder in a tree with that. But anyway, we didn't have this good light. We could barely see what we was doing. We was coming out of them woods, been hunting or doing something. May have been running limb hooks at night during the summer. I don't remember really what we was doing, but it was dark. And we was in a, I don't remember if we was in a canoe or the John boat, but we had one slap the water. Man, I like to come out of there. I knew what it was, but it startled me. But the thing that scared me the most was a beaver. We was canoeing, and see, we used to get together and take these long canoe journeys where we spend 3-4 days in the canoe traveling down, and we'd get somebody to pick us up. I have been from, if you look on the map, the Nanawarya Mound is up here, and you got a canoe through a lake, kind of. It's not a lake, it's just backwater, but it gets wide, and you have to snake around, and you find the head of the river where the Talladega Canal runs into the, I think, the Nanawarya Creek, where they run together. That's the head of the Pearl River. And that Pearl River runs all the way through this swamp. I canoe up and down all in that, but there's a lot of creeks, and it splits 2 or 3 times, and we've canoed all the way from the Nanawarya Mound to Ratliff Ferry down right above the reservoir in Ross Barnett Reservoir above Jackson. That's about, if you've done it all at one time, it's about a 10-day trip. We did it in segments, 2 or 3 days here, and spent a couple extra nights. Like we camped one night, stayed on the sandbar 2 days. We were just having a good time. But we was canoeing along in old canoe, and I had that 16-foot canoe. There was 2 of us in it. We was coming around this bend, and I was digging in there. We was having a good time of talking junk. And this beaver dives off of the bank, and we talking about like a 8-foot bank up the side right there. That beaver hit right beside me, fella, right in the water. Let me turn y'all around where I can really tell this tale. I'm a paddling, man, and all of a sudden that beaver hit right there. I said, "Whoa, man, that thing come splashed water everywhere." My heart was way up here now, y'all. And next thing I know, where my paddle at? I had to hunt my paddle, because when he hit the water, I thought the Lord was coming to get me there. I didn't know what that was. But anyway, we figured out, man, that beaver, they was up there, and we scared him probably bad as he scared us. And of course, he hit the water and he is gone. But that's about the scaredest I ever been with a beaver. Because, hey, y'all, fella, he hit the water. I'm talking about, I could have reached out and grabbed him had I seen him coming. He liked to jump in the canoe with me. It's a good thing that canoe was that flat bottom big canoe, because this new one I got, I'd have rode it. I'd know good and well I'd have rode it. But anyway, that's a good tale for y'all on the end of this video. Made it worth watching all the way through. I really appreciate all y'all supporting my channel. Y'all, I really like this knife. I'm going to take me a couple of photos over here on something, but I'm going to get something to lay it on where I got a good backdrop and get a good photo of it to put on the cover. But thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors, and we'll see y'all next time. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. And we'll see y'all.